So I don't know. This is silly. It's kind of a stupid conversation.
Well, also I think that was a stupid question.
I don't know if he was serious about that.
Right, that's the thing.
Because the way he was talking, it made it seem like it was an absurd question. So I'm gonna give you an absurd answer.
That's what it sounds
That's
like.
how I took how he's saying it.
Okay, hi everybody. Welcome back to the second half of this video. We got sent a clip of just pearly things. So I'm gonna play the clip and then we will discuss this.
I've come to realise, actually, seeing a lot of Andrew Tate recently, I actually agree with a lot of what he says a lot of the time.
Bring back the top G, man. How did they take this man off the internet?
He got banned for for freedom of speech. Everyone's going to always have opinions, aren't they? Mm-hmm. They might agree or disagree, but I found myself agreeing with a lot of things he says, and that is probably one of them. Perhaps not 80%, that's quite a wild figure. But as Paul touched on, which I can resonate with, me personally, my actual Instagram could be considered, probably is considered, quite close to OnlyFans. It makes, I have a reasonable number of followers, I can make money off it. I think I'd be quite lucky to have a man who would not only tolerate that, but encourage it. So actually having him say that would be something I'd be 100% open to, because I think it's very hard to come across a male who would actually encourage it and accept it, let alone monetize from it. So yeah, I agree with him wholeheartedly. Perhaps again, not 80%. We'll call it maybe 50-50.
Maybe 70.
I'm putting in most of the work here and got my foot on my head, and God knows what, he's not doing that. But if he's taking pictures and the like, and he's my man, and he's going to say he's my man, and we're going to be out in public together, and he's got to stand there with me, knowing that men are paying to see things that he doesn't pay to see, I can see why he'd want to make money off it, 100%. I can't disagree with it at all.
Because I don't like when women are not modest. I think it's sad sometimes when I see women who are okay with showing their bodies to everybody in the world. But it bothers me that she's just okay with people just looking at her body.
I mean, I don't watch Andrew Tate. I don't really know much of what he says. I know he's been, taken off the media. You know what I mean? And I don't agree with that. I think that you should be able to say what you want to say. I don't agree with what she's saying.
No, I have a problem with
this is how I feel about that, what she's talking about, if I'm understanding her correctly, is that any man who's willing to put up with a woman who is a public hoe, then he should be able to get money. He should get rewarded for being her girlfriend. I don't. I think that if you're a man who accepts a woman like this, you have to accept the woman like this. Yeah. If you don't like the standards, why are you dating her? Right. I mean, why would you date someone that? Because what you're saying is, I deserve money because I'm uncomfortable.
Right. I see what you're saying. Yeah. Okay.
I deserve money because I'm uncomfortable with how you present yourself. So my next question is, why would you then date a woman that makes you feel uncomfortable? Right. So if you want to date a woman that makes you feel uncomfortable like this, you have to accept what it is that she brings to the table. If you don't like what she's bringing to the table, then you need to find another woman.
So I think I'm trying to find that clip of what Andrew said, because I know he said.
I don't know what he said. Yeah.
He said, wait, hold on here. Let me just, so we go look at this real quick. I might be able to find this clip and put it up for them too.
What would you do if I wanted to start an OnlyFans?
I don't think there's anything intrinsically wrong with women doing OnlyFans, as long as I had influence and control over it.
What do you mean? Do the video photographer and get the angles, yeah?
No. I'm not doing any real work, but just like taking all the money. If my chick said, I want to do OnlyFans, I'm like, all right, then cool, go do it. How much you made? 10 grand, all right, give me 8. All right, cool. All right.
What woman is going to give you 8 grand?
You're my woman, you're doing OnlyFans, you're selling my product.
Your product?
Yes, correct.
She's not
Next question.
No. I don't know if you're being serious.
I'm totally serious. How would I let my chick do OnlyFans and keep all the money? That's disrespectful.
What woman is ever going to give you that?
Then she better not do OnlyFans. Duh.
I disagree. Yeah. I think that if you date, to me, what you invite in your life is your responsibility. If you're a woman and you invite a man in your life that beats the crap out of you, then that's what you invited. I mean, what do you think? He's going to buy you roses and treat you like a queen when he's shown you the kind of person that he is? You know what I mean? So I don't know. This is silly. It's kind of a stupid conversation.
Well, also I think that was a stupid question because I think she
I don't know if
that.
he was serious about that.
Right,
or
that's
not,
the thing.
Because the way he was talking, it made it seem like it was an absurd question. So I'm gonna give you an absurd answer.
That's what it sounds
That's
like.
how I took how he's saying it. But what she's saying is that she knows that the kind of work that she does, no real man would ever want her.
Yeah.
But in the rare case that a man does, then now I feel like I owe him.
Mm-hmm.
No,
that went viral with that little interview with the woman, with Andrew. But I think that people felt like he's being like tongue in cheek about it. Like, it's stupid to do OnlyFans because it's not becoming of you as a woman. And so we're going to play this little stupid game. Then give me 80%. He was trying to be funny, satire, about it. That's why I took it as. But if he is serious, I think that's an insecurity for a man if he's wanting.
It's no different than a woman playing. It's not mandating a woman who's a stripper, a woman, and a woman's a prostitute.
Yeah.
OnlyFans. If you're gonna date women like this, again, I don't think he cared. I think he gave that absurd answer because I think that was an absurd question.
Something tells me that's an absurd question.
He didn't even look. I mean, while I'm looking at his face,
he didn't look serious. He looked serious, but people took it seriously.
Yeah.
And so she did.
And he probably said that because he wanted to get under the skin of women who think like this. Because there's so many women, especially with feminism and the way women, or especially particularly young women who have adopted like this fourth wave of feminism, where they just think they can just be anything, be overweight, be a slut, be straight around. They feel like they can just do anything. I think he's just trying to take the wind out of their sail by saying, give me that, just poking fun at them the way that they would do to him.
Yeah, that's
a dumb question.
Yeah.
Okay, what do you think?
I wouldn't do OnlyFans. I don't encourage women to do it. I just think the idea of putting a price on your body, I think it demeans women further. And I definitely don't agree with what he's saying, because I think what Andrew Tate is suggesting, that he owns the woman. If you don't want your woman to do OnlyFans, don't be with her. Simple. If you're going to be with a woman that does OnlyFans, that is her hustle. It's like you maybe having something that's not agreeable as a career. Maybe you're a trapper, right? And then your woman coming into your business and saying, well, it's quite embarrassing being with a trapper, because I work in the 9-to-5 legal sector. So you know what? I want a cut. I feel like that's unacceptable. Why would I be able to do that? So why can you come into my hustle and you want a cut because you're a man?
I have a question. When you get married, or do you want to get married?
Yeah, definitely.
Will you give him control of the money?
No.
No.
We can share the money, so it could be
right. But like at the end of the day, someone's got to make a financial decision. Like if one person wants to buy a house and one person doesn't, someone has to have the final say.
See, I've never understood that concept. I don't understand why there needs to be one, like this idea of having a one alpha man in a relationship. I can't understand it. Why can't we both be alpha? Why can't we both make decisions?
Because if you're gonna run a company, like someone has to lead.
Yeah, if you have more experience in that field, say you dealt with property before, and you know what, you know everything about this, then darling, take it. But imagine I have gone in, done years of experience, and I've gone to school learning about properties, and then you want to come to me and say, because I'm a man, I feel like I should make the decision. I'll be like, hell no. Because at the end of the day, it's about expertise.
I don't know any women that are good with money. I don't know any.
Well, when it comes to saving, women are a lot better than men.
No, they're not. We spend more even though we make less. We own 70% of consumer debt.
I mean, I grew up in a household where it's the opposite. My mom has a lot of assets, more than my dad. So I've seen it work, where it's like a woman can create assets. She can save a lot of money and invest and grow and build. So and that's why I've never understood it, because I've seen a woman do it. So I guess that's what shaped my belief.
Okay. It sounds like she's been around masculine women. Her mother must be masculine, where, like she said, kind of like alpha in a way.
I think it's interesting that she says her mother has a lot more assets than her father.
Yeah, that was interesting.
Assuming her parents are married.
Right.
Okay. The thing about marriage is that I don't think that you should have more assets if you're in the same.
How does that work?
I mean, see, because this is saying that if ever I had gotten married, I never wanted to work. I wanted to be a mother only, and the reason why is because I think that there is a there is understanding when we're both not doing the same thing. This is the reason why I say when us doing the same thing in the household, this is what ends up happening. These conversations. Where, 50 years ago, this really wasn't a conversation because men worked and women stayed home. So men were in charge simply because they brought home all the money. They're the head of the house, and women were the helpmeet. You know what I mean? They took care of the house and the children and prepared for their husband to come home, which to me that's the way it should be.
Yeah.
Now I know a lot of women don't agree with that, but to me that is how it should be.
There was no confusion. There was definitely no confusion.
But I mean.
But they're raising women like this, though.
Right. I mean, she's also hanging out of her shirt.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just like there is these. She got her coat off. You know what I mean? It's just like.
But she won't do OnlyFans. She said she's
she's
opposed to OnlyFans, but hanging all out.
But like I said, black women have become one of two things: Oprah Winfrey or Nicki Minaj.
Yeah.
Nothing in the middle.
Right.
White women are still kind of everything. They can be Oprah Winfrey, they can be Nicki Minaj, or they can just be Donna Reed.
Right.
You know what I mean? The same with Asian women and Spanish women. Black women are only two, and they're both masculine qualities: oversexed or overworked.
Right.
That's what it is. If they try to be anything else, then the black community doesn't accept them.
She was used to seeing her mother was the I don't know if she's like I said, we don't know much about her background, but clearly she's in that feminist mindset that I can do everything a man can do. I can do, we're equal, we got 50-50. She's one of those people. You know what I mean? And I just don't think that in the long run it's going to be beneficial for her. But she's seen, but see, this is the makings of seeing a feminist woman do something against her own interest.
We've had a few people in our past on our YouTube show when our show first started. We talk about stuff like this, and a few men who would say, "Oh, I couldn't have been able to do a lot without my wife working." You know what I mean? So black men also fall into this trap of it. Because we had some guy that said we couldn't have sent our kids to good school if my wife didn't work. And we had some guy saying that he was engaged to a woman. Remember her?
Yeah.
We engaged to a woman that she's bossy and domineering, but I like her.
I like her.
Because a lot of black men can be betas also. You know what I mean? And so the matriarchy runs the black community. And that was, I think Kevin Samuel said that.
Yeah.
I think someone else said it not too long ago.
Right.
Jason Whitlock. He said, this is what happens. And he has a lot of people on his show that are all black. And Jason Whitlock's show, I think he's got like one Asian guy and a couple of white guys, but most of them are black people. And he said, the matriarchy totally dominates the black community. And this is why black women are confused about their place and black men are confused about theirs. Because they've gotten comfortable with women working. And then it's not until they get annoyed by the bossiness of black women that they all want to leave and then say they want something else. You know what I mean? And so this is the thing. When I was saying before about we need to take responsibility for that, how we come off in our own community, stop blaming other people.
What she's doing is she's doing that thing that women always mess up on. They talk about their money and men don't care.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So this always happens.
Unless they're dating men where money does.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because we also had a few women that said that they want to be at home moms, but most of the men that they date, most black men they date, want them to work.
Yeah.
We had the one girl say that. We did a video on it, and she was like, I wish that I could, but most black men like working women.
Okay, what do you think?
I don't agree with that statement because I feel like it's coming off controlling. Why am I entitled to give my man what I've worked for? That does not make sense to me whatsoever. So in that sense, no, that's controlling.
It's because of the nature of the work.
Then don't date someone that does OnlyFans.
I would agree with you.
Yeah. If you want a partner, you can find ladies everywhere. Do you understand? So
I agree, man. I don't think dudes should be, dating girls doing that. Not seriously, anyway. But
it's given
people can have their
vibe.
Yeah, well, that's what he is.
What do you say though? Like, and because in that clip they're dating, but if you're married, like, I feel like someone has to control the money.
Look, you can't have. Sorry to cut you off. You can't have a democracy with only two people. You're going to have a decision maker, and it doesn't mean on every single issue the decision maker is the same. In most traditional families, which by the way we still need to remember is like probably 80% plus of marriages around the world. The man typically has the final say on certain things, and the woman typically has the final say on certain things. That's just how it is. That's actually what human beings tend to default to. Of course, everyone's an individual. There's all sorts of exceptions and personal circumstances and so on, but that's typically how it goes. But you can't, if you've only got two people, it doesn't even matter if it's not a marriage. If you've only got two people and a decision needs to be made, someone ultimately, you can negotiate and you should negotiate, and the other person should always have a say. But ultimately, one person is going to have to make a decision.
Rock, paper, scissors. Let's go.
You can flip a coin. I mean, you could do it, but yeah, someone has to have the authority. And I think the truth is that women do not respect men who do not have a level of authority. This is the truth. A man who will not lead. I'm sure you don't like it if you go out on a date with a guy and you're like, should we go? I don't know, babe. Where do you want to go? Where do you want to eat? What do you? Oh no, like what? You right? It's lame. It's lame, and that's not something that's reciprocated. Like as a man, if a woman is indecisive or what, like that's not a turnoff, right? That's just she's a woman. I'm supposed to be the one. If I'm asking a girl out on a date, I'll pick the restaurant. Cool, I'll sort the stuff out. That's just how it is. It's biologically rooted.
Women don't. He's absolutely right. Women do not respect men who are not in charge and who do not make decisions. Which is why when women are not the breadwinner, they respect their husband or significant other more because they're looking at him as the leader. But when women are put in a position where she is equally making the same amount of money or just at the same level or more, she will not respect him. And I know a lot of people, I think we did talk about this a long time ago, a woman actually said, I make more money than my husband and I totally respect him like that. And I'm
you sure you make sure everyone knows that?
Yeah, right. These women are always making sure everyone's got to know that. And I have to say that women do not, he's absolutely right. Women do not respect men who, are beta like that.
Well, I would say this about Andrew Tate when he answered the question. I think it was a bizarre question in general.
The lady made it
but his alpha mentality of answering the stupid question with a stupid answer.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Threw her for a loop.
Right.
Because she was expecting him to be, like this guy is. He's outnumbered by a bunch of women in the room. You know what I mean? And so, again, I think women like men who are decisive.
You're right.
And they don't like men who can't make a quick decision or a judgment. Yeah. You know what I mean? Women are more emotional, men are more logical, and we like them that way, regardless of what women say. We like them that way. And so, you're creating men you don't really want. Yeah. And it's confusing. This is why I don't like feminism, because it's confused women about where they want a strong man until all of a sudden he starts talking about money. The truth is when you get married, your money is your money. Yeah. It's the household money. Right. So I don't care what you do for a living. Everybody, if you're both deciding to work, the money belongs to both of you.
All of a sudden, money is taking precedent over your marriage
and values.
And it's annoying. It's hard to watch because it's like this is not what it's supposed to be. Like this guy is pretty simplistic. He's just saying, I want to be in charge. This is the way that it is, and you shouldn't have a problem with that. I want to be a decisive man. But then a woman will get upset when a man is not being the leader. I'm like, but you're doing what he's doing. So this is not a respectful relationship. It's not going to work.
This is why a lot of women in Hollywood, they're so gorgeous and beautiful, but none of them can stay married. They've all been married like 3-4 times.
Why do you think that
Kim Kardashian's been married 3 times now. Jennifer Lopez 3 times. You know what I mean? Why can't these women stay married? It's because they make too much money. And men who are successful as they are don't tend to date women with that kind of money. They don't, because they bring nothing to the table. It's just them. You know what I mean? It's like J-Lo and Ben Affleck, for instance. They just got married, and you could see them holding hands and kissing for months after she broke up with the A-Rod. Yeah. You know what I mean? And then as soon as they got married, there's this article that comes out where she says, we're doing like the miss you relationship. Right. So what's going to happen is I'm going to leave him alone for like weeks at a time so we can miss each other. Yeah. She's calling the shots. Right. Yep. You know why she's calling the shots? Because she don't need Ben.
She don't need him. And he knows that.
She don't need Ben. You know what I mean? She don't need him. He knows that. Right. That's the only reason he went along with that. Right. You know what I mean? And not to mention, you say that in front of people, make your marriage just...
Because there's no respect. Because she doesn't
respect.
She doesn't respect them.
Right.
She doesn't respect them.
What's her name? Kim Kardashian. Was he want to move to Wyoming?
Yeah, she didn't want to go.
She didn't want to go. So she had 4 children with Kanye. Yeah. and got married, had a beautiful wedding. They haven't even been married for 10 years. They've got 4 children, and because she doesn't want to move to Wyoming, this woman has her own private jet. She could go back and forth to LA anytime she wants. She said no.
She said no. I don't want to follow.
I don't want to.
Well, what she's saying is I don't want to follow my husband.
Sorry.
And you're supposed to follow. See like how that messed that up? You see how that messes it up?
And yes, there can be exceptions, but if there's always exceptions, right?
I wouldn't expect a man to take a cut of my money if I was working in a normal industry.
No
way. I'd be like, how dare you? You're not taking my money. But I think in that specific industry where you're literally selling
Why? Because
your
he's
body,
allowing you to do it.
I feel like if
Unfortunately,
you're married,
yes.
if you're married, I want the dude to make all the financial decisions. I see the way women spend, and I would say I'm not even bad for a girl, but like I just I feel like dudes should control money.
Can I just say my piece now?
Yeah, go ahead.
There's a stick in the corner. Well, I think they should stop listening to how he says things and listen to what he says. Because I think he says a lot of good things, but I just think it's how he says it just to hype people up. And I think that if he wanted to be all nice about it, that a lot of people would agree with him. But it's the way he says it. And I don't know who that woman is anyway, but for instance, if it was, I looked at, was it the OnlyFans? I checked out what it was. And I realized that, no, because they do cooking on there. And they do bodybuilding on there. You know, they got women that look quite respectable that do cooking programs. But because she said it and because he said it, everybody automatically thinks to, you know, so as far as I'm concerned, if it was any other job, and say that they were married, and people say, oh, no, but we're not married. If you're in a long-term relationship and you're living together, you're heading towards that way, somebody's got to be the decision maker. And it's always our money until it's the women's money.
I'm saying. That's exactly that's what I'm saying.
That is facts.
When it's the money for men, that's what I was saying. When it's the money for men, it's household money.
Yeah.
But when women work, it's my money.
It's my money.
You know what I'm saying? It's
It's
all my money.
She's so right.
You know what I mean? And that's the only time it's an issue. That's why it's weird when there's when people two income, because then it starts this whole thing as I'm working with my money, but when men do it. Remember when I was telling you when the COVID started? Apparently they were saying you had to social distance.
Yeah.
For 6, you know, he had social distance because, you know, whatever. So Oprah went on Gail's show and she goes and says, well, Stedman came home and I had all his stuff sent to the guest house. And they said, why? Why? She said, because they said that they didn't know how it was being transmitted and they didn't want it, whatever. And I thought to myself, well, that's Oprah's house. You know, if Stedman, they live together.
Yeah,
so it was just like, but if this were Stedman, his mindset would be to protect his wife and family, so he'd want them in the house so he could protect them. But when it's a woman, her natural instinct isn't to protect.
Women are very interesting when it comes to power. When we have power, Lord, for you.
It's terrible.
When we have power, we do this thing where it becomes a bit selfish, where we feel like, oh, well, you know, his money's my money, my money's my money, money is me, all me. All me. This lady is absolutely correct.
What's yours is ours and what's mine is mine.
Yep.
Yeah.
You know, because if you're married in your relationship, surely all the money would go into a pot.
Yeah, right. That's what I said. We would all go together.
Rather than, oh, I'm not going to give him this because it's how much. My son's grandparents, married couple, they were together until one died and the other one died till they died. And I remember she always worked and handed over her money to her husband. She worked, handed over her money to her husband, and he said, they had 5 children, so the children's, whatever they grown up kids, that was the housekeeping. So the parents give the mother whatever, the children give the mother whatever they have to give her, but they couldn't understand, why is it that she has to give all of her wages to her husband? And they thought it was really strange. And then one day he just said, right, we're going. And he'd built this fantastic house in St. Lucia on the top of this hill. No way she would have done that if she had spent the money. And I think if that was me, and I was, whether it's OnlyFans or whatever, I'd quite happily hand over the money. And, give me my housekeeping, I'll let it work. You do whatever you got to do with it, because once I'm with you, if I trust in you with my body, why can't I trust you with my money? My
Can I
money,
ask a question?
my money,
though?
not until I finish talking though.
Oh.
So
It's-
as far
it's
as I'm
leading to
concerned,
your
it doesn't
point.
matter because I ain't finished.
Oh, okay.
Right. Because as far as I'm concerned, my body is more valuable to me than money. And I don't understand why women, they will share their bodies, but they don't want to share their money. What is so funny? So as far as I'm concerned, she's out there sharing her body to, if we go by that OnlyFans, whatever's on there, my view.
Yeah, she said they want it. That's a whole quote. That needs to be a T-shirt. She want to share her body, but she want to share her money with her man.
That's what
You're
I'm
going to
saying.
share your body with all the people on the internet, but you don't want to share your money. And all of a sudden, it becomes a deal.
But it's just like also this younger woman interrupting this older woman.
Yeah, that was
It just
interesting.
goes to show you the kind of attitude young people have.
Yep.
You know what I mean? It's sort of entitled. I know everything, and you haven't even lived life
Yeah.
enough to know everything.
Like, yeah, I kind of do agree that I'm looking. My husband's like the leader, so if I'm making like odd money, like I'm not, it's going into the family pot, and
Right.
he's the decision maker. If I'm saying that the man is supposed to be the head, then that what I'm saying is that he has to be the decision maker. If I'm saying that he's the leader, then I'm giving him the money.
Men are much more logical, and women are much more emotional. With emotion comes emotional spending.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? With men, everything's up here.
Yeah.
So for them, they're like, oh, no, we got to get the mortgage on the house. Or,
Yeah.
no, we got to get food on the table.
Right.
They're always that, that sort of, we got to make sure we have priorities first.
Right.
Before we start, having
It's
fun
fun,
with
yeah.
money. Women are more of, oh, I feel like I want this, so therefore I should. Now, I'm saying I'm not bad with money. Also, there's this need to feel like you learn, because I've always wanted someone that I could learn from.
Me too.
That's why I think men should be older and they should be more successful than me.
Right.
Because I like learning from
Yes,
people.
me
You know what I
too.
mean? And so I think that when you don't feel that you can learn, you become like these younger women who
Yeah.
think that they always have the answer
Right.
when they haven't even lived it yet.
It's true.
She's out there sharing her whole body to the whole world. How many people? But she won't share the money with the man. And as far as I'm concerned, if he's the man and I'm like you when it comes to religion and he's the head, let him deal with the money. And when people are going to be offended by, he said he's allowing her to do that. Well, that's his wife. He's the head. He's in charge. He's allowing her to do that. So as far as I'm concerned, if you're both working in your partnership, the money's supposed to go into the house together. I wouldn't even say like, oh, $8,000. I'd give him all of it. I'd give him every single penny. And as far as I'm concerned, I'm trusting you with my body. I want to trust money's nothing compared to my body. And that's my point of view. Why is it so easy just to give away your body rather than give away the money?
Even with Andrew Tate's answer, I mean, I would say give it not even 80%. I would say
So
give it
give
all.
all,
But
yeah.
that wasn't how it was presented.
Right.
The question was presented as a sort of fee.
Yeah.
For being a man who's tolerant
Right.
of you. You know what I mean?
I guess it's a
But,
penalty.
Yeah,
type,
if you're the head of that, if you're the man of the home, then yeah, you're supposed to make the big decisions, which means that you have 100% access to the money. Period.
Right.
You know what I mean? But when you say something like, oh well, if I let you do that, then I want 80% of your money. That's like a
It's
fee.
like this
Right?
fee.
That's games.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because you have to mean that if she works at Safeway, not just when she shows her body.
Right. And again, like if it becomes a decision on who gets the actual money into what, if it comes to that decision, to me, it's always going to be the man. It's always going to be the man. Like she was saying, like, like
gotta be a boss.
the money isn't, like, for me, the money is not, it is like true. If you're going to you care so little about your body and exposing that to the world, but you put money as a god. See, money is, you respect money, but you're not so respectful of everybody seeing your body. How's that work? I don't think that works. You're making money your god, and you're forgetting that how you present yourself should be more important than that. But women nowadays really do feel like these women, like where they're like, oh, well.
I mean, like we've
Yeah,
gotten away from morals and values.
Yeah, so it doesn't really matter anymore.
You know what I mean? Everything is
Yeah.
about cash.
Right.
And who earns the money and who doesn't. And the truth is that we would have just left everything like it was.
It would have been fine.
It would
We
be
done messed-
fine.
we messed
But
it up.
We've ruined it with people
Yeah.
trying to say that the person makes the money is the one that's in charge. So that was always the thing.
Yeah.
The person that makes the money is the one's in charge. And then it was men.
Yeah.
So the feminists said, okay, so then we're going to make money so we get to be in charge.
Right.
And the thing is that isn't true.
Yeah.
The person who makes the money, the person who's in charge is the person who should be in charge, and that is the man. Men automatically, once they know that they are the household, the leader of the house, you know what I mean?
It's a given to me.
It's a given that they're going to make more money and be more ambitious than you.
See, this is why I don't play the money games, y'all.
The instant you become a mom, then money only matters to me so that our kids can live well and we're okay. But otherwise, I don't give a damn about a career.
No.
After I become a mother, that's my job. That's my God-given job now.
Yeah.
That matters. My job is my kids and my husband. That is it. Everything else is just add-on stuff and extra jargon to talk about. But the money is not a thing I care about.
Yeah, you're the nurturer. They're the provider. Those are the God-given designed roles, I think.
And I trust him, so I don't care about his rules. If he makes a rule,
if he says, well, you know what,
we talked about it.
But no real leadership man is going to want their wife or girlfriend or whatever out there OnlyFans showing all the things that he's supposed to only see. That's a whole other part of it. That's a whole other part of it. This whole conversation. If we can just dial it back and just go back to that. You shouldn't, as a wife or a girlfriend, even a girlfriend, you should not be showing all of what he's supposed to be seeing, and that he's not supposed to be accepting a woman like that. So if he is accepting, like you were saying earlier, if he is accepting a woman like that, then that is beta.
Your choice.
I think level-headed men with leadership are not ever going to want a woman like that.
When you are dating Instagram models, and then you're mad because every man gets to like, heart, and say obscene things to her in the comments, then, look, you can't be mad at your choice.
Yeah.
You have to live with your choice.
Tell us what you think. Leave a comment below. We'd love to hear what you have to say. Again, please do not forget to like and subscribe to our channel. And that's it. We will see you guys next week. Bye.